Hello, everyone. Welcome. This is the Our Turf Football Podcast. I am Dana. We have Lisa. We have Sonia for you this week after a wild week one, which none of the three of us enjoyed all that much because not a single one of our teams won. But
all four of us.
Oh, yeah. Kate too.
Kate too. All four of our teams lost.
Yeah. But I make myself feel better this way. The Seahawks have the same record as the Chiefs and the Ravens. So, right? Like, that's a good thing, right?
That's how you make yourself feel better.
Sure, I want to make myself feel better.
Lost, so that makes me feel good too.
Yes. So oh my gosh.
I'm jealous of both of you. I'm ready to tank the whole season.
I know. I want to talk to you about that, Lisa. Lisa and I were talking about that off air. So I want to talk about that while we're on the show. But I want to thank everyone who is joining us over on Twitter and on Facebook. It seems like Facebook is working. I got notifications all day that Facebook was hit or miss with StreamYard today. So it looks like it's going. So I hope that is the truth. But if you are watching over on Twitter, over on Facebook, come over to our YouTube channel and join our live chat. We have a great group of people who we love their opinions and we love to share them with you. And we would like to share your opinion too. So please come on over and join us here. All right. Before we get started, of course, we want to thank Donkey's Place Cheesesteak, our sponsor of 5 years. I was at a great dinner this weekend for another podcast that I do, and I got a couple of questions about this podcast, which I love that people kind of equate both of them. And they're like, you just have this cheesesteak place in New Jersey that's your sponsor? I'm like, yep. And we love them for it. They love us. We love them. It's fantastic. So Donkey's Place Cheesesteak, 3 locations in New Jersey, Medford, Mount Holly, and Camden. But of course, you can go to goldbelly.com, look up Donkey's Place Cheesesteaks. They will mail them right to your house. It's delicious food. It's fabulous. And make sure that you put in the comments that the Our Turf Girls sent you. Okay. So.
Sorry, I just got to plug in.
No, you're good. When we were planning this show, we usually plan it out in segments, how we're going to do this. And I'm like, we're just going to end up talking all over each other because there's so much to talk about. It's so great. So bear with us. Let us know if you have anything specific you want for us to cover. But we're going to go ahead and get started with what we usually start during the regular season, which is the injury situation that happened over the weekend. And I just want to say, this is a long list, and half of them are San Francisco 49ers. How many years have I said, ladies, Shanahan? That team is the most injured team over and over, year after year. It's crazy. So I want to start earlier, though, with Xavier Worthy. He was injured on, I think, like the first play. I think he ran into Travis Kelce. Like, it was this crazy play. He's day-to-day, though. They don't think there's any major damage. Excuse me. So they're calling him day-to-day, but it didn't look day-to-day, people. I think that he dislocated his shoulder. So I can't imagine he's coming back anytime too quickly. Then we also have Drake London. He is also considered day-to-day with a shoulder injury. We have Andrews, the center for Houston. He was carted off the field.
I saw that.
Yeah, that was nasty.
It's not good.
So, yeah, that was not good for them either. Evan Ingram out of Denver left the game with a calf injury. Then we have Kittle, Purdy, and Jennings, all 3 of them out of San Francisco. They did put George Kittle on IR today, so he'll be gone for at least 4 games. I think they're thinking more close to 6 to 7, so we'll see how that goes. Brock Purdy is considered day-to-day. I will tell you, I was at the game this weekend, at the Seahawks-San Francisco game. It was chippy. I am not surprised. These guys were beating the ever-loving tar out of each other, which they always do. And then Juwan Jennings, poor guy, and I say that as a Seahawks fan, because it was the end of the game. And this guy decided to bet on himself with a contract this year, not go for an extension that they could have given him. So that I'm like, and now you're injured. God, that is just the nastiness of football. So there was a lot of other little injuries here and there. I think those are the biggest, probably fantasy football impacting ones. And the center for sure, because that then affects CJ Stroud, obviously.
Yes.
Them.
Which it did. Yes.
Yeah. Tremendously. All right. So other news. There was some crazy games.
Some crazy good games.
Oh, an AFC championship game we've already played week 1. That Bills-Ravens game was flipping amazing, right?
Fire.
It was so good. And then there was some not so good game. Sorry, Lisa. So I want to talk to Lisa first. We're going to get started about this. So as you guys know, Lisa is a Miami Dolphins fan.
Oof.
Her whole entire life. It was an ugly game. And the first thing when we got on before the show started, I said, Lisa, how are you? And Lisa, what did you tell me?
I said, I'm pretty good. I just want to tank the whole season so I can get one of those top quarterbacks next year.
You know what?
And I am truly, and we talked about it, and I am not a hater. So, my Dolphin friends, I don't hate Tua. I'm just done with short quarterbacks. I'm done with 5'10", 5'11". I want the 6'2", 6'4". I'm just done. It's like he's a piece of glass. I mean, now I'm not sure it's true. Like I said, I haven't really got on and done a lot of research about what's being said down here in Miami. Apparently they're sending video to the NFL saying they think he got concussed and stuff like that. And yeah, his head hits the ground, but damn, it hits the ground every single time you get tackled. So, I don't know if that's true or not, but I think they could just be trying to make excuses. Because like I said, it was a horrible game. And it's hard because do you chuck it up to it was just one game? I mean, the emotions in Indy were real high with Jim Irsay going in the ring. Yeah. I mean, we've all been to those games where our players are going into the ring or something's happened to one of our players. It's tragedy. Emotion can drive a game. Was it just that? I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, it is overreaction one game, but if we're going to tank, I want to tank good because I want one of those quarterbacks.
I love that. She's like, screw the season. It's one game in. I'm out.
Yeah, we're done.
Quarterback.
We're good. So, but I'll go. I mean, I'm going to go down to Miami. I'm going to see them firsthand. But I mean, as far as the roster, the talent on this roster, I mean, if changes are going to be made, then, I see a couple people leaving via trade just to start.
Hi, Tyreek.
Yeah, bye, Tyreek.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. Like I said, I know it's one game. I'm not going to overreact, but we'll see how we do this weekend. But it's not looking good. I mean, media outlooks just not good.
So Big Red put Tua needs to wear a practice helmet to prevent another concussion. That has always been a concern with him because after a couple he had that one season, they were like, should he come back? And now to get another one, that's a huge deal. Sue says in comments, Tua and the coach need to go for Miami. Now, I will say that we did a prediction show on another podcast that I do, and there was a couple of us that picked Hipster Homebrewer to be the first to go, which again, Lisa, as I said to you before the show started, I think is the best thing that could happen, especially if you want your team to get the highest draft pick possible. I think that's
and you hate to say that, right? I mean, you want to try to play hard, you want to win. But it's just, you don't see it. I mean, I've watched these guys for, I couldn't even tell you how many years now. You just see it on the field. I mean, when I'm down there and watching them in the games, I can almost kind of tell you what kind of game we're going to have just by them. I mean, there was talk in the second quarter. We were down 21-0 and they were over there laughing on the sidelines and sitting down. I mean, to me, what is that? And then, then the daggers to the heart are Jalen Ramsey. Look at the outstanding play he had in Pittsburgh. I mean, he was crazy. Jonnu Smith, touchdown. I mean, all the players that we got rid of or left had great games. How is this possible?
I know.
It's crazy.
I know.
Yeah. It's frustrating.
And then you saw all these people be like, Daniel Jones. And I'm like, slow your roll. It was the first week. And I think he's got a lot to prove there too on the Indianapolis side, but they looked like a better team this year. So we'll see how that goes. Sonia, things did not go well for you either. Detroit lost to Green Bay. I don't know who lit a fire under Green Bay, but holy cow. But this is like their 7,000th opening home win or something. It was like some crazy number, 13-27. Right. But the Lions too had some injuries already.
They had some injuries, but I think despite that, they just looked awful. And I don't think they looked like a team that wants to contend. Granted, first game, maybe I'm overreacting. I don't know. But they just didn't look good this week. And, I can take a loss, whatever, but look decent while doing it. Don't, essentially get embarrassed, right? I mean, you get that, right, Lisa?
Yeah, I do. Here's my question to you, though. Are the Lions missing Ben Johnson? Did you see a difference? Do you see a different team out there without Ben Johnson?
I think so. But I also think that offensive line play was kind of trash. And so, Frank Ragnow, our center, retired in the offseason, like towards the end of the off before camp. And he was a huge piece. And, I remember when he got drafted, everybody's like, what? But no, he was badass. And I think we're all missing him right now.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Well, that game it was great for Green Bay. Green Bay looked fantastic. Yeah. Kristen said in comments, Packers are one of the toughest opponents. And I agree. I think that they are the ones that are going to be leading in that division if they can hold up and continue what they did on Sunday.
And that's what Packer fans have been waiting for. Is this the quarterback we've all been waiting for?
Finally.
Is this finally the love that, and that was the question. And we all talked about that in the offseason about this is another quarterback that this is it for you. I think that this is, you need to put up now. I think Green Bay has took their knocks with him. And so if this continues, this is the love that they brought in, and this is the quarterback that they need. He just, like you said, he just needs to stay consistent.
Yeah. A couple of other games that I thought were interesting, and then I'm going to ask you guys what games that you also found interesting. The Kansas City Chargers game, that ended 21-27. That was an international game, which is a hard way to start the season. But if you're going to do an international game, do the first one, get it out of the way. And then you got the rest of the season to be home. The interesting thing as I was watching, there really wasn't. I went through and I watched the highlights of the games, and then if something goes on, I go back and watch the bits and pieces of the game to try and get ready for this show. The interesting thing to me about this Kansas City Chargers game was there was not a Patrick Mahomes highlight until 30 seconds before halftime. So I was intrigued by that. So I went back and I watched through that game and chunks of that game. I didn't watch the entire thing. And the Chargers look like a team that was dying to win. And the Chiefs look like they were phoning it in. I know, Lisa, what you're going to say, because we talked about you know, that Patrick Mahomes was running for his life out there. And he does. God love him. He tries to put that game on his back. He got a touchdown. He really did well. He threw another touchdown pass to Travis Kelce. But then, Travis Kelce is not the Travis Kelce of old, as we all understand. And so this team seemed to have a little bit of, we're going to walk in and win this game because we're the Chiefs. Now, let me tell you, that's going to flip immediately. They're not going to make that mistake again. I promise you that. But there seem to be a lot of pieces missing for Kansas City. Lisa, you don't really think that Patrick Mahomes has any really offensive threats?
They had no deep threats. I mean, and we saw that all game long, and they didn't let us forget it. I mean, it was glaring, and that's what the commentators and everybody were saying. There's just nobody downfield to throw to, much less throw to quickly, because that offensive line is still in works. And that was the big thing. But I mean, hindsight 50-50. You got to give hats off to Jim Harbaugh. And I told you guys at the beginning of the season, watch out for the Chargers.
Yeah, you did.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, you did.
I mean, Justin Herbert looked like a different quarterback. I mean, when you look at his numbers, I think he was 24 for 35, 3 touchdowns, and he took command of that game in the fourth quarter. That first down, I mean, he was in full control. The offensive line was tight. The defense was good. They had a great game. So you have to, give some kudos to the Chargers.
Oh, 100%.
Because they came to play, and it makes me think, like you said, I don't think the Kansas City Chiefs scare anybody anymore.
No.
Oh, I think that just their reputation alone is going to scare them to a certain extent. But I think that even towards last year, yes, they made it to the Super Bowl. I'm not downplaying the fact that they made it to the Super Bowl. And it's not even that they didn't win the Super Bowl. It's how they got there. They kind of limped, and one wrong difference in a game. That's all kudos to Andy Reid for still getting them to get up and get that. But it was interesting. Sonia, you and I talked about, actually all of us talked about how this was really Herbert's prove it or lose it year for him, that we had been waiting for so long. I don't think he could have started any better.
Not at all. I think he made a statement. I think he came out and was guns blazing and ready to go. Now, again, game 1, but can he keep this up? But I think this is a very good start to beat the Chiefs. And, like we said, this was a lose it or use it or lose it, if you will, year. This is prove it year. And I think he made a wonderful first campaign, and I was very impressed by that. So I like this so far. Now let's see what he's got next. Let me check that out real quick.
Yeah, see what he's got next. Let me tell you this. Can we just say hello, Keenan Allen? Welcome home. Holy cow!
Right?
He looks so good in this game. I was so impressed by that. Yeah, that was really fun. It was fun to watch. So let's get to a few comments about that. Kristen says it was a very fun game to watch. It was wild that the Chiefs took forever to show up. I agree. And then we had Big Red asked, did off the field drama affect Travis Kelce? No. And I'm going to tell you why. Sue already answered you. Not the Kelce of old, because he's getting old. That's just it. He's in his mid-30s. He definitely is just not the same guy on the field, nor should we expect him to be, right? Like that just, it just is kind of the way it is. Sonia, who they got next?
They have the Raiders on Monday night.
Oh, so 2 division games in a row.
Yeah.
Pete Carroll coming off of a nice win.
Good.
Pete got a nice win.
Are they at home? Yeah, no, they're at Las Vegas. So I think that's going to be just a great game all the way around. You know, you got Pete Carroll, Darth Harbaugh. It's going to be great.
I really wanted to go to that game in Vegas. There's something in me that just wanted to see Pete and on one sideline and Jim Harbaugh on the other sideline again. Like I wanted that again, but alas, Dana hasn't been home in a long time. So she had to finally stay in Kansas City for a minute. So, all right. Another game that I thought was very interesting and got a lot of attention was the Pittsburgh New York Jets game, obviously. So you have the conversation there about it being, you know, Aaron Rodgers playing against his old team. And I'm like, not really the same as if you were playing against Green Bay, but whatever. It's kind of thing. Let me tell you this. That score ended 34-32, but Pittsburgh needed a last-minute field goal to beat the Jets.
A bomb.
It was a 60-yard field goal. So it's not even like, it was like, are you kidding me right now? This is what was fascinating to me was the conversation about how Aaron Rodgers came in and he just beat the Jets and he did this and he was so amazing. Yeah, he had great touchdowns and he made it through the whole game. That's what we wanted for him, right?
Number one.
But it was hilarious to me that they acted like, and the Jets did it good too, but Aaron Rodgers, no, the Jets looked like a different freaking team than last year. Yeah. I was so impressed with Justin Fields. I was so impressed with Wilson, Brees, all of them. That looked like a cohesive team. I think that new coach has this team a rocking and they could be a problem. Lisa, what did you think about this game?
Oh, absolutely. You know, I was like, couldn't have picked a better game of the week to cover, right? Good grief.
Yes.
And the thing about it too was when you looked at Rodgers, you know, he wanted this game. You know, Justin Fields wanted this game. I mean, because it was great.
Yeah.
But like I said, it was, you know, and when you look, it was the fumble that cost the game.
Yeah.
It was the fumble. And I love a coach that'll call a player out. I am sorry. And that is one thing that we talked about down here with hipster homebrewer about coddling these players. Aaron Glenn doesn't coddle anybody. He's going to tell you right up, this isn't going to happen again. This is one man's story right here. So
I love him. He's quickly becoming one of my favorite coaches.
He's like, that's unacceptable. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, this is at a high level. I mean, you're winning the game. That pretty much turned the game.
Yeah.
That turnover at the end and gave him the opportunity to go ahead. Yeah. This game was neck and neck. Justin Fields looks like he's found a home. Yep. He's gonna be a problem. So yeah, I thought it was a great game of the week that we picked, and you know, everybody was talking about it.
Sonia, what did you see as you did our game of the week? So what did you see as you were watching this game?
Oh my gosh, I was so excited for Justin Fields, and I know it's kind of hard for me to be excited for him, but he found a home. He has found a home. That's what I got. He felt so comfortable. He looked so good. Him and Brees Hall and Garrett Wilson. I think they have a really stout core right there. Like I said in the game when I was tweeting it, the O-line was O-lining and letting Brees run, and it was just a thing of beauty. Defense has stood up, though. Defense, I mean, grand, yes, 34-32, but when it counted, the defenses on both teams were making some big plays. But it was just such a good back and forth game. And, I honestly think, are the Jets great? Kristen asks, are the Jets great or are the Steelers mediocre? I think the Jets are really good. I think they are really good. And I think the Steelers are good. I don't think they're really good, but I think they just were opportunistic at that time. Mm-hmm. Aaron Rodgers had some throws that made you think, oh, wow, you're old Aaron Rodgers, but you're not old Aaron Rodgers. You're old Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. But it was just a great game. I loved it. The back and forth. It was a lot of fun. And just to see the Jets and kind of take that identity of Aaron Glenn on and just like that toughness. I love it. I think the Jets watch out for them.
So Sue says the Jets Steelers game was fire. The only time I hoped for Rodgers to win.
I'm with you, Sue.
I know. You guys in that division, you're like, we don't want the Jets to win. But here's the interesting thing. I think that all of us have touched on it. It's just the coach, right? You bring in Justin Fields. This is the Fields. We saw Justin Fields like this at times in Pittsburgh, right? And then they yanked him and put Russell Wilson in, who had a horrific game in New York. And so it makes you wonder if Pittsburgh had more stuck with Fields, but I still don't know that it was a perfect fit. This really does seem to be a good fit for him. Super excited about that. So Big Red put out there, it's going to be a really rough season for Pittsburgh if they have to put that much effort in to barely win against the Jets. I kind of disagree with that respectfully, Big Red. I think the Jets are going to be a bigger problem. And granted, overreaction week one, as we have said for every 15 years on this show. You don't know who a team is until week 4, 5, 6. Yeah. That's who you know. So this is a bit of overreaction. So.
They got a big test though this week. They got the Bills.
They do have the Bills, and the Steelers play the Seahawks. So in another really good defense. So it'll be interesting to see how they can manage that.
Well, and you got new quarterbacks. I mean, these are, Justin Fields' new team. This is Aaron Rodgers' new team. You have two quarterbacks that have new teams. It's going to take them a minute to get a little bit of the continuity going. So you got to kind of give it up to them week one of having it already and doing that. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of my perspective of it. Like I said, you'll see different defenses at different teams. It's going to be totally different outcomes.
It'll be interesting. Darcy says, how often are the Jets going to do this? It's also week one. Yes. We're trying to slow our roll, Darcy, but it was very exciting.
We're trying.
We're trying not to overreact. We're trying not to. It's only week one.
Another game that I wanted to bring up was the Vegas New England game. And I know it seems like I'm spending a lot of time on that part of the country. I'm very sorry. But the reason is because I think this shows where the Kings were sitting. And then we could talk about the Bills-Ravens game to ad nauseum, but it was just amazing. That's all you'd hear from us. It was amazing. It was amazing. It was amazing. We could talk about some of the other NFC games, but like Dallas and the Eagles, we'll get to those. But I want to talk about this one because these are two teams that were at the bottom of the barrel last year. And in this game, even though Vegas won 20-13, you saw huge improvement from both of them, even out of the Patriots. And so I thought that was really interesting. Both of them look to be kind of gaining the momentum, getting back together, doing these sort of things. And the New England defense, they had 4 sacks, 10 tackle for losses. I think they had a pick or two. They looked good. And that's what I think one of the things that they were hugely missing over the last chunk of time. They're missing Tom Brady. We get it. But still, Drake May looked better. Everyone looked better. And then you look at the Vegas side. That's a whole new regime, right? And Brock Bowers was, quote unquote, injured during the game, but apparently he's fine. So I didn't put him on the injury list. But they have Pete Carroll there. They have Geno Smith. They have Austin Genty, who looked great. And so we'll see, right? We'll see how that goes. But I thought both these teams looked better. So, all right. What, Lisa?
You let Geno Smith beat you.
Beat me? He didn't play us.
I know, but I'm just saying, Pete, let Geno Smith beat them.
He can go ahead and have him. It's okay. It's fine with me. All right. So, couple of other teams. Big Red's probably going to want us to talk about the New Orleans game. So, Arizona beat New Orleans 20-13.
We're not.
That was tough. That was a tough game. That was tough.
He's a tough kid. I'll give it to him.
Yeah.
He's a tough kid. I mean, it was, watching the highlights. I mean, there's no quitting the kid. And there never was, even in college. I mean, that was the thing that I kind of liked about him. He's got some fire to him and he'll stay in there. You're a kick away from, winning that game and he just missed it. That's all. I mean, you're a kick away. So they were there.
Yeah. Then we have that not so great Giants Commanders game, 21-6. The head coach of the Giants, Brian Daboll, would not say that Russell Wilson is going to be his starter next week.
I can't blame him. How you right?
That was a mess. It was a mess. If you guys didn't see this game, go back and watch the highlights. You'll get about 5 minutes through it and turn it off. It was not good. But kudos to Washington for winning that game for sure. Then we have the Houston Rams game, low scoring game too, 14-9. Houston, granted their center was hurt. We get that. I mean, there was a lot of things that happened during that game, but that to me, Houston looked like a team that was not ready for the start of the season. When I looked at those, which
is surprising.
Very surprising to me. It was very surprising. And then we have the Minnesota-Chicago game. I literally was tweeting on the plane. I fought with the Wi-Fi. I was flying back from Seattle. Like, it was a mess, but I got it done. But in and out, that was an interesting game. Sonia, I want to know your opponent. I want to know Sonia's thoughts on that game, since that's her division. And then Lisa, I want to talk to you about the young quarterbacks and how they did.
I was kind of not even nervous, but okay, just being completely objective. The Bears looked better. I'm not even gonna lie, even though it did kind of fumble at the end, but the Bears looked better. They looked like they want to do some things and could potentially do some things as long as they don't keep making stupid penalties, stupid mistakes. Mm-hmm. So there's that. The Vikings, I think they looked how I thought they were going to look.
Really?
And so, yeah. I knew it was going to take JJ a little bit of time to kind of get his game feet together. And while he's still getting there, I was very thrilled with how he did and played well. But yeah, I was very surprised. I think the Vikings looked how I expected. The Bears looked better than I expected. Mm-hmm. So
I have to say the same.
Division this year.
Yeah, I have to say the same. I sent out a text to some friends and I'm like, I think I need to retract what I said about the Bears, because it was like they looked like kind of a team that was humming. They made mistakes. It looked like week one. Let's be honest. But I was a little impressed with what I saw out of Chicago. So I asked Lisa for this show tonight to talk about her favorite subject, but I wanted to talk about the little quarterbacks, the babies, the rookies, and the year two quarterbacks. How did they do? Because you see it wildly on social media. Some people thought they were fabulous. Other people thought they were horrible. It was all over.
And that's it, right? And let's continue off of the Bears, and let's talk about Caleb Williams a little bit. Let's talk about something that was very concerning. If you're a Bears fan, you're very well like, oh, he did very good in the first half. Let's talk about scripted plays, guys. Scripted plays are the first 15 to 20 plays of a game where the quarterback already knows what we're running, not depending on what the defense or what he sees. This is what we're going to be doing. He does fantastic with that. He gets in trouble when he has to read defenses. Yep. At that end of that game, we're out of the scripted plays. We need to start doing some things. Caleb Williams has always drove me crazy with, he'll look like a superstar as far as some of the throws this kid can make. Are only a few quarterbacks in the league can make a couple of those throws that he made. Mm-hmm. But then he'll throw a ball you're just scratching your head. You're going, that was your second read. Your first read was over here. The guy's wide open.
Yeah.
So that's my worrisome with him. I think Ben Johnson's going to be great for him. I really do. I think that second half, you saw a much improved Caleb Williams. He's just going to have to get the time in. I mean, he's only 22, 23 years old.
Yeah.
And I think Ben Johnson's going to be the difference with that kid. Jalen Daniels, let's just keep rolling. Kid's got it, right? I mean, I don't see any backslide from him. But you got to give kudos to the Commanders because they've surrounded that kid. They went line help. They got him some weapons. I mean, that's how you do things right there with a quarterback. You get him some weapons. He's a smart kid. He picks up on things real well. I mean, he didn't have a monster game as far as stats are concerned, but he had enough game to win. And I think when you look at him, I think he was kind of at the bottom of the stats there a little bit, but I mean, he was 13th, ranked 13th, between Baker Mayfield and Brock Purdy. I mean, JJ McCarthy, right? So, Michael Penix Jr., I mean, he was 27 for 42, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He didn't have a bad game. So, I mean, I'm not seeing any really bad slides from any of these kids except for CJ Stroud. And I have to tell you, I think CJ Stroud's issue is his offensive line. I'm going to go right back to the same thing with Mahomes. I think it's really hurt them on that line. You can really see him uncomfortable in that pocket. So I think they're going to have to kind of get some things squared up there. New teams. We talked about Aaron Rodgers. We talked about Justin Fields. I think it's just going to take them, like we talked about, 4 or 5 games to get going. Spencer Rattler, I just hit on it for Big Red. The kid's got grit. I'm going to give him that. I'm going to tell you, I think it was a smart decision to go start him. Do I think he's the long-term answer? I still don't, but I still think that, that they're going to get a win out of this kid. They're going to get some wins out of him because he's a baller. So like I said, I didn't see anything really traumatic. I think Love is right where Love needs to be. He just needs to keep it up and stay consistent. And I think that's the quarterback that they expected to see on the field, barring any kind of injuries as we go forward.
Bryce Young, I was looking at his stats. 154 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions.
Listen, I'm pulling the plug. Okay. I'm just going to say it right now. They made a mistake. He's not the quarterback I think people thought he was. I just don't see him turning it into, I like him. I thought did he get ruined by getting thrown in there so quickly? Did he, just suffer the setbacks like, Derek Carr when he came into the league? And I don't know. I don't know if it's going to take another team. It's probably going to take another team for him to sit behind somebody for a couple years. And then at least maybe he can be, get like the light bulb will go off, like they say, like Darnold. Look at Darnold. He struggled, then got with the right system. I think the same thing's going to happen with Bryce, but I think the Panthers experiment's going to be done.
And then we have a couple of our rookies. So JJ McCarthy.
Yeah, we talked about JJ.
Yeah. And then I'm sorry, I'm trying to find
how jealous is a lot of other the rookies with having Justin Jefferson as their as your wide receiver. Right. I mean, good Lord.
Right. Exactly.
Jeez.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm trying to find the stats for the Panthers kid.
Can we talk about one quarterback, a veteran quarterback, for just a second?
I guess.
You already know we're going. Dak Prescott looked like a different quarterback to me.
Really?
He really did. I mean, if I'm a Cowboys fan, I like what he's done to himself in the offseason. He looked very focused. And I'm gonna tell you, they were a Micah Parsons away from winning that game against the Eagles.
Oh,
yeah. I think Jerry screwed up, got his ego involved, and if he would have had Parsons on that field, I think they would have won. But they, and of course CeeDee Lamb. I mean, you got to hold on to those balls, CeeDee. You can't have, at the end of the quarter, at the end of the game, you got to hang on to those. But they looked good. I mean, I can't say anything bad about the Cowboys right now. If I'm a Cowboys fan, I'm kind of okay right now. I'm like, I like what I saw.
He just has to stay on the field, Lisa.
But he's got a whole different health regimen. They talked about it the whole game of how he changed. We'll see. You never know. But he did. He really looked like, a quarterback that has really focused. He's lost some weight. I mean, he looks toned. I mean, I really like the way he was throwing the ball. He's making smart decisions. I don't know. The Cowboys going to make some noise.
You're muted, babe.
Sorry.
It's okay.
The other young quarterback that we didn't talk about was Cam Ward for the Titans. 112 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Young kid, I get it. We'll see. But it was dead.
But they stayed in the game the whole game.
They did. Yeah. They had some great running plan there, so that was really interesting. All right, so let's get back to some of these comments. So Big Red says Washington does the little things to win. Going to be a problem if they're in the playoffs. I completely agree. Sue agrees with you, Lisa, on what you said about the young quarterbacks. Big Red says Spencer will be just fine. He just needs to stick with it. He played better than I. He didn't play terrible. I think so too.
I do, Big Red. I think they're in on him this year, and so unless something dramatically happens, I think they're gonna stick with him.
Right.
Yeah.
Kristen said, I was just saying, look at Darnold. So interesting about Sam Darnold. So let me talk about this because Kristen also asked us about the Seahawks-Steelers game next week. So let me say this. I was very disappointed in the Seahawks offense. They got away from the plan that they kept preaching they were going to stick to this year. It was the defense. I could not have been happier. And I know that people think and I don't want to talk about Rick Woolen because I love Rick Woolen and people are going to have a hard time with that, but that's fine. So here's the thing though, with Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold is a good quarterback. He's not great. He's not elite. He's a good quarterback. And that's all they're going to ask from out of here. The problem they're going to end up running into is in their wide receiving core. So I was perfectly happy with the way Sam Darnold played. They got off their script and the run game was a disaster. So that's where I sit on that one. And this was a division rivalry. I mean, this is the biggest home game for Seattle this whole year. And they had to start the season with it. I just think that's kind of crazy sometimes, and to answer Kristen, your question for next week, she had asked earlier in chat, which I could go back and find it, but I can't right now. She wanted to know who I think is going to win or who we think is going to win out of the Steelers and the Seahawks. I have no idea because week one, I don't think it really gives you much of a glimpse into who a team is. I think they both have strengths. I think the defense could make Aaron Rodgers' life real miserable next week. But if they can't keep up offensively, I'm not sure. And I can guarantee you at some point, DK Metcalf and Witherspoon are going to go at it. And it's going to be hilarious, and I can't wait to watch it. It's going to be super fun. So that's where I am. Kristen says Hawks offense looked completely different than the offseason. Reminded me of last year. Same, it did. And Coach Mike McDonald did say that they got off script. So hopefully that'll be fixed this week. So we can hope so. All right. Sonia, is there any other games you want to touch on? I know we talked about a bunch of them.
I was about to say we talked about them all, honestly, I think.
So we start, which is the Thursday night football game this week.
That's Washington and Packers, the Packers.
Ooh, that'd be a good one. I get that one. I
think that's going to be a great one.
That is going to be a good one. Yeah. And Lisa will be doing our social media during that game. So make sure that you stick to for that. All right, you guys. So we will be back next week. Same time, same place, Tuesday night at 8:00 on YouTube. Again, if you watch over on Facebook or Twitter, please come to the YouTube channel, join the chat. We want to answer your questions. We want to chat with you. We want your opinions. And we have this great group of people. So, oh wait, Bob, I'm going to throw you up there. DK. Oh, that's Kristen's DK versus everybody. That is so true. And Bob says it depends if Aaron Rodgers has consulted his crystals. That's the perfect way to end the show, Bob. Thank you so much.
Maybe go in his hole with his crystals.
I love it. All right, everyone. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Oh my gosh. See you guys next week.